Within the gloomy walls of medieval convents, legends of forbidden entertainments and secret pleasures unfold tales which the Church labored fast to suppress. Convents from the 5th to the 15th century, during the Middle Ages, were not mere homes of prayers and piety. They were at times cauldrons of controversy, where the nuns opposed strict religious rules in the most unlikely ways. The Middle Ages were times of utmost religious zeal, superstition, and Puritan ethics throughout Europe. Convents were built as citadels of spiritual purity, protecting their inmates from the corruption of the secular world. However, even within these sacred walls, human yearnings for entertainment continued. The Church regarded most forms of enjoyment, like music, dance, or secular literature, as distractions from spiritual devotion, and often labeled them as sinful temptations. The nuns of medieval Europe came from all spheres of life, from nobles, from widows, and even from girls who, against their will, and often to avoid a certain undesirable marriage or to fulfill a family obligation, were forced to convent. Besides security, the convent life gave them spiritual asylum, which was indeed highly priced, but it also imposed heavy restrictions on personal freedoms. Despite vows of chastity, poverty, and obedience, many rebelled in more subtle ways against the restrictions: secret feasting, performance of secular plays, even writing love songs in Latin. Such acts broke convent rules, but also defied societal expectations of female behavior. Historical records even show that from time to time, even the nuns were found to hold clandestine meetings within the convent walls. This included hearing or singing secular music, playing games of chance, and at least one recorded incident of flirtation with visiting men in disguise as pilgrims or merchants. These acts, when reported to church authorities, caused outrage. Public reaction ran from disbelieving to condemnation as these stories took down the idealized images of nuns as paragons of virtue. Investigations were launched into who had violated the strict codes of monastic life. Accusations against these nuns varied from indulging in sinful music to practicing witchcraft, one of those frequent medieval accusations that was very often based on superstition. Evidence could be based on rumors, the testimony of a witness, or confessions under pressure. In these trials, nuns often resisted and argued that it was only to experience pleasure amidst the stark availability of life. Their arguments, however, were no match to the resolve which the Church had in ridding the world of any semblances of earthly delights. As such, the trials assumed more symbolic importance, as symbolic battles between human desires and rigid religious expectations. The punishments were usually harsh and predetermined guilty. Harsh punishments, including isolation, public shaming, and excommunication, were meted out to the nuns should they get caught indulging in forbidden entertainment. Some were forced to parade, wearing hair-shirts garments designed to cause discomfort and perform penance. Others were ordered to recite publicly their confessions or to endure temporary exile from the convent. Afterward, strict reforms were imposed on them to reinforce discipline and reassert the spiritual purity demanded by the Church. These events had an immediate impact. Increased surveillance and restrictions on convent life left many nuns fearful and resentful. Yet, stories of sinful nuns endured to feed popular legends and medieval folklore. These represent for the modern historian the complexity of medieval religious life, where piety and fleshly desire could coexist. The rebellious acts of nuns are today viewed as an act of resistance against a deeply patriarchal and repressive system. The plays forbidden to medieval nuns give poignant evidence of man's quest for joy, even under the stern dogma of religion. And this lesson applies over and over again through many centuries. Most importantly, though, these stories inspire us in a quest to seek out joy and authenticity within our own life against overwhelming rules or obstacles. After all, true fulfillment often stems from the courage to pursue what others might consider impossible.